This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is EpsteinHeirs.com, a website that claims to want to find the unknown children of Jeffrey Epstein because they say they are the rightful heirs to his vast fortune. It says here, unknown children of the late Jeffrey Epstein. If you believe you may have given birth to a child fathered by the late Jeffrey Epstein, who recently committed suicide, or that he may have been your biological father, please contact us immediately without delay. And according to the New York Post, now 130 people have come forward saying they are Jeffrey Epstein's child in order to claim his estate. It says here, at least 130 people have come forward claiming to be Jeffrey Epstein's secret offspring, hoping to get a cut of the late pedophile's $634 million estate, according to the report. Now, it may not be a surprise to many of you here who know this man has been a convicted sex offender and he was allowed to commit these acts for a great many of years, so it's very likely that he probably impregnated a lot of women along the way, and there are lots of Epstein children out there. But what you may not know is that this man was a staunch eugenicist. He believed that his DNA was superior, and if that he seeded the world with his own DNA, the world would be a better place. Just look at this article from the New York Times. It says Jeffrey Epstein, surrounded by scientific luminaries, hoped to seed human race with his DNA. Jeffrey Epstein, the wealthy financier and accused sex trafficker, had an unusual dream. He hoped to seed the human race with his DNA by impregnating women at his vast New Mexico ranch. Mr. Epstein, over the years, confided to scientists and others about his scheme, according to 4 people familiar with his thinking, although there's no evidence that it ever came to fruition. Well, now it looks like there's evidence, as we see 130 people have come forward claiming to be his offspring because a website was set up to find them, so it does seem that we do now have evidence in regards to that. Mr. Epstein's vision reflected his long-standing fascination with what has become known as transhumanism, the science of improving the human population through technologies like genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. Critics have likened transhumanism to a modern-day version of eugenics, the discredited field of improving the human race through controlled breeding. And we even have a mainstream media clip discussing this New York Times article, and I'll briefly play that one for you so you can check that out.
Epstein wanted to use the ranch for controlled breeding, using his DNA to improve humanity. Citing 2 award-winning scientists and an advisor to large companies and wealthy individuals, the article reports Epstein surrounded himself with leading scientists and would tell them he wanted to have 20 women impregnated at a time on the ranch.
20 women impregnated at a time because he had the vision of seeding his DNA all across the world. As we see here, Jeffrey Epstein, surrounded by scientists, hoped to seed the human race with his DNA. All right, well, what does that have to do with this man right here, Bill Gates? Well, if you've been paying attention to this channel, you will know that we have been pointing out the fact that he is also a staunch eugenicist. He comes from a bloodline of eugenicists. His father was involved with Planned Parenthood. In fact, his father and grandfather over the decades have been intertwined with the Rockefeller family, who are also known eugenicists. So, this man is very similar to Epstein in that way. And viewers of this channel will also know that Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein multiple times. Here are the flight logs of when he flew on Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein's plane. And here he is pictured with Epstein. In fact, he met with Epstein 3 times at his New York mansion. And this is after the fact that Epstein was already convicted as a sexual predator. Why is he meeting with this man? Well, we're being told that it's because of a philanthropic endeavor where they wanted to set up a trust, a foundation rather, that would raise money for, take a guess, global health. Yeah, they wanted you to believe that that's why they were meeting together, because they wanted to create a foundation that was all about global health. Well, that never did come to fruition. But what we do know is that as Gates is similar to Epstein in the sense that he too thinks that his DNA is superior, and he also wants to procreate in this earth to create more intelligent people so that, as he believes, the world will be a better place. Let me just play for you this documentary that aired a few years ago, where a man interviewed some of the women that Bill Gates dated early on in his early life. And you get a glimpse into how this man thinks when you see the types of questions he asked the women in his early years that he was dating as he's trying to pick a partner, what he was looking for in a girl. Check this out.
Dated only occasionally with varying degrees of success.
I interviewed several women who had dated Bill just briefly. And one told me the very first question Bill asked her was, "What did you score on your SAT test?" This is not exactly, what a young woman wants to hear. For Bill Gates, though, he had scored a perfect 800 on his math portion of the SAT, and this was a matter of pride with him, and he wanted to make sure whoever he was dating, had scored a pretty high grade.
You see, the reason why he wants to make sure that whoever he is dating scores a high grade is because he wants them to be on the intelligence level that he is, so that he can procreate and make the world a better place. That's what eugenicists believe, that they are superior and that they have better genetics, better DNA, and their DNA, their genetics are the ones that should progress on and continue, and the lesser inferior, useless eaters and dumbed down people need to just eventually die off. That's what he believes. That's what him and his buddy Epstein believed. And that's why it's important that we point out the connection between these two men. And no, it's not about philanthropy. It's all about eugenics. That's why these two men got together. Now, I want to point you to a fantastic resource that really, really compiles this information into a comprehensive documentary put out by our friend James Corbett. It's called Who is Bill Gates? Part 1 is called How Bill Gates Monopolized Global Health. Part 2 is called Bill Gates' Plan to Vaccinate the World. Part 3 is called Bill Gates and the Population Control Grid. And the final piece, which just came out, is Part 4, Meet Bill Gates. Again, a phenomenal documentary that altogether runs around 2 hours or so. It's probably the most important documentary of our current time in this post-COVID 1984 world, and probably will continue to be moving forward. So I'm going to include a link to this in the description below, so you can check it out for yourself, guys. I strongly encourage you to do so. As I said, it's a fantastic resource, and I am happy to say that I will be interviewing James Corbett tonight about his fantastic documentary. So be sure to subscribe to me here on Press for Truth if you're not already. If you want to catch that, I will be releasing that interview tomorrow. So be sure to tune in tomorrow if you want to catch that. And also, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please check us out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Here you can donate with PayPal, or you can use Bitcoin, or use the Patreon over here with this banner. You can use the Patreon alternative here and sign up for a monthly amount. Any amount helps. So please check the links on the screen or in the description to find out how you can support our efforts moving forward. But also, please check out the description to find the link to James Corbett's fantastic documentary, and stay tuned for my interview with him coming up tomorrow. As I said, it looks like they're looking for the children now because they are the rightful heirs to his fortune, or are they just trying to find the genetics? Are they trying to find those seeds that Epstein planted? Are they looking for the superior genes that are now spread out across the world? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this EpsteinHeirs.com website. Do you think they're doing it because they feel that the rightful heirs are the rightful owners of the vast fortune? Or do you think they're trying to find the genetics, find the bloodline of Epstein so they can somehow continue what this crazy man started? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to check the links in the description to find out how you can support our efforts here at pressfortruth.ca/donate, and also to where you can find James Corbett's fantastic documentary, Who is Bill Gates? Stay tuned for my interview coming tomorrow with the one and only James Corbett. I'll be interviewing him tonight, putting that up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So that's all for today, my friends. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please click that thumbs up button. Share this video if you found the information to be useful. And stay tuned, friends. We've got more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.